Muller,
Yes.
please come in, have a seat.
I thought I might have had the wrong day when you didn't answer the door.
Yeah. Yes. Well, that's between us. I was listening to a transistor radio with an earpiece. Look at how tiny they're making them now. I confiscated it from one of the students and now I can't stop using it.
You like music?
Not really. News reports. I used to listen to all the news reports when my husband was in Italy in the war. But when I came into possession of this little radio, I found myself doing it again. No, there is no war. And the voices have changed.
You were a married woman?
Yes. But then he was killed. Is your husband coming?
Couldn't get off of work.
I see. Of course, it was a lot to ask.
How's Donald doing?
No, he's passing his subjects. He has average grades.
Oh, good. He was upset about getting kicked off the altar boys.
Did he explain why?
He said he was caught drinking wine.
That is the reason.
Well, that seems fair. But he's a good boy, sister. He fell down there, but he's a good boy pretty much down the line. And he knows what an opportunity he has here. I think the whole thing is a bit too much for him.
What do you mean, the whole thing?
Well, he's the only colored boy here. He's the first in this school. That'd be a lot for a boy.
I suppose, but he has to do the work, of course.
He's doing it though, right?
Yes, he's getting by. He's getting through. How's he at home?
His father beat the hell out of him over that wine.
Oh, he shouldn't do that.
You don't tell my husband what to do. You just stand back. He didn't want Donald to come here.
Why not?
Thought he'd had a lot of trouble with the other boys. But that hasn't really happened as far as I can see.
Good.
That priest, Father Flynn, he'd been looking out for him.
Have you met Father Flynn?
No, not exactly. I've seen him on the altar. Not face to face. You know, just what I heard from Donald.
Well, what does he say?
Well, you know. Father Flynn, Father Flynn. He looks up to him. The man gives him his time, which is what the boy needs. He needs that.
Mrs. Muller, we may have a problem.
Well, I thought you must have had a reason for calling me in. Principal's a big job. If you stop your day to talk to me, must be something. But I just want to say, though, it's just till June.
Excuse me?
Whatever the problem is, Donald has till June to make it here. Then he's off onto high school.
Right.
If Donald can make it here, that would mean a good chance at getting into a good high school and an opportunity at college. I believe he has the intelligence, and he wants it too.
Well, I don't see anything at this time standing in the way of his graduating with his class.
Well, that's all I care about. Anything else is all right with me.
I doubt that.
Try me.
I'm concerned about the relationship between Father Flynn and your son.
Concerned? What do you mean concerned?
That it may not be right.
Uh-huh. Well, there's something wrong with everybody. Got to be forgiven. Isn't that so?
I'm concerned, to be frank, that Father Flynn may have made advances on your son.
May have been.
I can't be certain.
No evidence?
No.
Well, maybe there's nothing to it.
I think there is something to it.
Well, I would prefer not to see it that way if you don't mind.
I understand that this is difficult here. But I think Father Flynn gave Donald that altar wine.
Why would he do that?
Has he been acting strangely at home?
No.
Nothing out of the ordinary?
He's been himself. Look, sister, I don't want any trouble. And I feel like you're on the mark somehow.
I don't think that you completely understand.
I think I understand the kind of thing you're talking about, and I don't want to get into it.
What's that?
Not to be disagreeing with you, but if we're talking about something floating around between this priest and my son, that ain't my son's fault.
I'm not suggesting that it is.
He's just a boy.
I know.
12 years old. If anybody should be taking the blame, it should be the man, not the boy.
I agree with you completely.
You're agreeing with me, but I'm sitting in the principal's office talking about my son. Why isn't a priest in the principal's office, if you know what I'm saying? And you excuse me for bringing it up.
You're here because I'm concerned about Donald's welfare.
And you think I'm not?
Of course you are.
Okay, let me ask you something. You honestly think that priest gave Donald that wine to drink?
Yes, I do.
Then how come my son got kicked off the altar boys if it was the man that gave it to him?
The boy got caught. The man didn't.
So you give my son the whole blame? No problem, my son getting blamed and punished. That's easy. You know why that is?
Perhaps you should let me talk. I think that you're getting upset.
That's because that's the way it is. You're just finding out about it. But that's the way it is, and that's the way it's been. You're not going against no man in a robe and win, sister. He's got the position.
And he's got your son.
Let him have him then.
What?
It's just till June.
Do you know what you're saying?
Know more about it than you.
I believe that this man is creating or has already brought about an improper relationship with your son.
I don't know.
I know that I'm right.
Why you need to know something like that for sure when you don't? Please, sister. You got some righteous cause going on with this priest, and now you want to drag my boy into it. Well, my son doesn't need any additional difficulties. Let him take the good and leave the rest when he leaves this place in June. He knows how to do that. I taught him how to do that.
What kind of mother are you?
Excuse me? But you don't know enough about life to say a thing like that, sister.
I know enough.
You know the rules, maybe, but that don't cover it.
I know what I won't accept.
You accept what you gotta accept and you work with it. That's the truth that I know. Sorry to be so sharp, but you're in here in this room.
This man is in my school.
Well, he's gotta be somewhere. And maybe he's doing some good too. You ever think about that?
He's after the boy.
Well, maybe some of them boys wanna get caught. Maybe what you don't know is my son is that way. That's why his father beat him, not the why. He beat Donald up for what he is.
What are you telling me?
I'm his mother. I'm talking about his nature now. Not anything that he's done. You can't hold the child responsible for what God gave him to be.
Listen to me with care, Mrs. Muller. I'm only interested in actions. It's hopeless to discuss a child's possible inclination. I'm having a difficult enough time addressing a man's deeds. This isn't about what the child may be. It's about what the man is. It's about the man.
But there's the boy's nature.
Let's leave that out of it.
Forget it then! You're the one forcing people to say these things out loud. Things are in the air and you leave them alone if you can. That's what I know. My son came to the school because they were gonna kill him in the public school. So we were lucky enough to get him in here for his last year. Good. His father don't like him. He come here, the kids don't like him. One man good to him, this priest, put a hand out to the boy. Does the man have his reasons? Yes. Everybody has their reasons. You have your reasons. But do I ask the man why he's good to my boy? No. I don't care. My son needs a man to care about him and to see him through to where he needs to go. And thank God this educated man with some kindness in his heart wants to do just that.
This will not do.
It's just till June. Sometimes things aren't black and white.
And sometimes they are. I will throw your son out of the school, make no mistake.
But why would you do that if nothing started with it?
Because I will stop this, whatever way I must.
You heard my son get it your way.
It won't end with your son. There will be others, if there aren't already.
Throw the priest out then.
I'm trying to do just that.
Well, what do you want from me?
Nothing. As it turns out, I was hoping that you would know something that could help me. But it seems you don't.
Please, sister, leave my son out of this. My husband would kill that child over a thing like this.
I'll try.
sister. You may think you're doing good, but the world's a hard place. I don't know if you and me are on the same side, but I'll be standing here with my boy and those that are good with my boy. It'll be nice to see you there. Nice talking to you, sister. Good morning.
May I come in?
We would require a third party.
What was Donald's mother doing here?
We were having a chat.
About what?
A third party is truly required, Father.
No, sister. No third parties. You and me are due for a talk. You have to stop this campaign against me.
You can stop it at any time.
How?
Confess and resign.
You are attempting to destroy my reputation, but the result of all this will be your removal, not mine.
What are you doing in this school?
I am trying to do good.
Or even more to the point, what are you doing in the priesthood?
You are single-handedly holding this school and this parish back.
From what?
Progressive education and a welcoming church.
You can't distract me, Father Flynn. This isn't about my behavior, it's about yours.
It is about your unfounded suspicion.
That's right. I have suspicion.
You know what I haven't understood through all of this is why do you suspect me? What have I done?
You gave that boy wine to drink, and then you let him take the blame.
That is completely untrue. Did you talk to Mr. McGinn?
All McGinn knows is that the boy drank wine. He doesn't know how he came to drink it.
Well, did his mother have something to add to that then?
No,
So that's it. There's nothing there.
I'm not satisfied.
Well, if you're not satisfied, ask the boy then.
No. He'd protect you. That's what he's been doing.
And why would he do that?
Because you have seduced him.
You are insane. You've got it in your head that I've corrupted this child after giving him wine, and nothing I say will change that.
That's right.
But correct me if I'm wrong, this has nothing to do with the wine. Not really. You had a fundamental mistrust of me long before this incident. It was you who warned Sister James to be on the lookout, wasn't it?
That's true.
So you admit it.
Certainly.
Why?
I know people.
That's not good enough.
You will tell me what you've done.
Oh, I will.
Yes.
I'm not one of your truant boys, you know. Sister James is convinced I'm innocent.
Oh, so you talked to Sister James. Well, of course you talked to Sister James.
Did you know that Donald's father beats him?
Yes.
And might that not account for the odd behavior Sister James noticed in the boy?
It might.
Then what? What is it? What did you hear? What did you see that convinced you so thoroughly?
What does it matter?
I want to know!
On the first day of the school year, I saw you reach out and touch William London's wrist, and I saw him pull away.
That's all?
That was all.
That's nothing.
What are you writing now?
You leave me no choice. I'm writing down everything you say. I tend to get too flustered to remember the details of an upsetting conversation. And this may be important when I speak to the Monsignor and explain why you have to be removed as the principal of the school.
This morning, before speaking with Mrs. Muller, I took the precaution of calling the last parish to which you were assigned.
And what did he say?
Who?
The pastor?
I did not speak to the pastor. I spoke to one of the nuns.
You should have spoken to the pastor.
I spoke to a nun.
Well, that is not the proper route for you to have taken, sister. The church is very clear. You are supposed to go through the pastor.
Why? You have an understanding, you and he? Father Flynn, you have a history.
You have no right to go rummaging through my past.
This is your third parish in 5 years.
Okay, so call the pastor. Ask him why I left. It was perfectly innocent.
I'm not calling the pastor.
Hey, I am a good priest, and there is nothing on my record to suggest otherwise.
You will go after another child and another until you are stopped.
What nun did you speak to?
I will not say.
I have not touched a child.
You have.
You have not the slightest proof of anything.
But I have my certainty. And armed with that, I will go to your last parish and the one before that if necessary. I will find a parent, Father Flynn, trust me, I will. A parent who probably doesn't even know that you're still working with children. And once I do that, you will be exposed. You will be attacked, metaphorically or otherwise.
You had no right to act on your own. You are a member of a religious order. You have taken vows. Obedience being one. You answer to us. You had no right to step outside the church.
But I will step outside the church if that's what needs to be done, though the door may shut behind me. I will do what needs to be done, Father Flynn, even if it means that I'm damned to hell. You should understand that, or you will mistake me. Now, did you give Donald Muller wine to drink?
Have you never done anything wrong?
I have.
Mortal sin.
Yes,
And
I confessed it. Did you give Donald Muller wine to drink?
whatever I have done, I have left in the healing hands of my confessor, as have you. We are the same.
We are not the same. A dog that bites is a dog that bites. I do not justify what I do wrong and go on. I admit it, desist, and take my medicine. Did you give Donald Muller wine to drink?
No.
Mental reservations?
No.
You lie. Very well then. If you won't leave my office, I will. And once I go, I will not stop.
Wait.
You will request a transfer from this parish. You will ask for a leave of absence until it is granted.
And do what, for the love of God?
Don't.
My life is here, please. Are we people? Am I a person, flesh and blood like you, or are we just ideas and convictions? I can't say everything. Do you understand? There are things that I can't say. Even if you can't imagine the explanation, sister, remember that there are circumstances beyond your knowledge. Even if you feel certainty, it is an emotion and not a fact. In the spirit of charity, I appeal to you. On behalf of my life's work, you have to behave responsibly. I put myself in your hands.
I don't want you.
My reputation is at stake.
You can preserve your reputation.
If you say these things, I won't be able to do my work in the community.
Your work in the community should be discontinued.
You would leave me with nothing.
That's not true. It's Donald Muller who has nothing. And you took full advantage of that.
I have not done anything wrong. I care about that boy very much.
Because you smiled at him and sympathized with him and talked to him as if he were the same.
That child needed a friend.
You're a cheat. That warm feeling that you experienced when that boy looked up at you with trust was not the sensation of virtue. It can be got by a drunkard from his tot of rum. You're a disgrace to the collar. The only reason that you haven't been thrown out of the church is your decline in vocations.
I can fight you.
You will lose.
But you can't know that.
I know.
Where is your compassion?
Nowhere you can get at it. Stay here. Compose yourself. Use the phone if you like. Good day, Father. I have no sympathy for you. I know that you are invulnerable to true regret. And cut your nails.
Yes, this is Father Brendan Flynn from St. Nicholas Parish. I'd like to make an appointment to see the bishop.